I think in this moment the situation in Asian countries is very interesting. There is a lot of energy. And in the past, our country, Italy, was really a paradise for design because consider that Italy is, compared to the size of the country, the place in the world with the most concentration of industry. So design culture started in Italy after the Second World War, and Italy, everybody knows, the culture with the best culture in design. So from all over the world, designers come to Italy to work with Italian design company. But today, this kind of business model is at the end because it's based on an old marketing scheme, on for different distribution movement, from the producer to the distributor to the public. Now this business model is at the end, and we need to find a new business model where the producer and the seller are directly connected, so two passages instead of three. So also the designer and the company in Europe in this moment has to rethink since the beginning their job and their business model. This is the reason why in this moment I'm here in Asia, and I try to find collaboration between Asian company and the Italian company. I introduce also Italian company in this market, and I think the future will be connecting the two markets, because I suppose that in the future we will have three key factors for our company. The first one is to achieve the best quality in production. It means not only the best design, but also to take care of quality in material, production, everything. The second one is to achieve the most competitive target price. The third one will be to succeed to sell your product in the largest market, in the largest distribution. So I think there is no company in the world that satisfies at the best these three conditions. So the next future will be based in finding new business model which succeed to work according with such new possibilities. Okay, during my speech, I would like to show how good design is not a matter of good design or bad design, as usually such kind of German a word used to say. But design is a matter deeply connected to the level of development of our society. So I would like to show how in Italy the consumer goods and the consumer market has changed during the last decade, and how design approach has to change in connection with the changing of our society. So this is my building in Milano. You know, as you said, we have a beautiful party all the year during, it's in Tartona area, is in the district for design and fashion, and we have a studio house, exhibition center there. Okay, this was the context of the object when I was young. So in the 70s, these were the objects which used to be in the desire of the young bourgeois people. So big car, luxury car like Jaguar or Mercedes, a golden Rolex, a English style way of dressing, or the church shoes, or the rainbow glasses, or the poltrona Frau armchair. So we call this object status symbol because when you buy this object, you want to show your social status. In the 80s, we had political movement, students, working people, so the objects were so fashionable in the 70s became kitsch in the 80s. So to wear a golden Rolex was not so fashionable in the 80s. And we had a completely new system of object, more addressed to a cultural approach. In sense, we call this object style symbol because they are connected to the intention. You buy this object because you want to show you are an up-to-date person. You know what happened in the war, you have culture, not because you are rich. So the object of desire for the young bourgeois generation in the 80s changed dramatically. Not anymore the golden Rolex, but the Swatch. And the Golf was the best-selling car in the 80s, or Memphis furniture instead of classic poltrona Frau, Timberland instead of the church, or the casual style instead of the classic English style. I started working in this time, so at the end of the 80s. And I thought that working in such kind of object, so this kind of attitude to obstant such kind of object instead of directly yourself, because of course the object gives a very clear message about our identity. If I see your house with certain object, if you wear certain clothes, these kind of things tell me a lot of things about who you are, which level of culture you are, and so on. So when I started working in the 90s, it was a very successful period for our economy. We call this period Reaganian hedonism because in this period we had a real new consumer culture. And working with Alessi, I was a lucky designer because I had occasion to be introduced to one of the most important companies in the culture of design. When I started working with them, these were the best-selling product of the company. So the kettle of Michael Graves, the kettle of Richard Sapper, and the lemon squeezer by Philip Stark. So object with a lot of sign, very strong design, really proper design object of the 70s, of the 80s, sorry. What I did was to go in a completely different direction. So I decided not to design the product. When they asked me to design a tray, I didn't design a tray, but I took a standard tray that you can buy in any department store. And the only thing I did was to cut off from the edge of the tray the shape of a little man. And I go to Alessi with a presentation presenting 60 sketches, and every sketch was a different object, but every object has this story of a little man. My intention was to connect design with popular culture. So to democratize the design context, because the design context has been understood by intellectual people, but not by a wide range of people. So my intention was to speak a message that could be understood from a wider target of people. So I was interested in figurative language because the figurative language was always connected with popular culture. And the common people has a lot of objects in their house connected with shape of animals, shape of human shape of plants. So I decided to put in the icon of the human in a very abstract way on the edge of the tray. And the result was really revolutionary because the Girotondo tray Just the first year was sold in 10 times more than what Alessi marketing people thought. And after several years, became a family. And today is the most successful family of product in the history of design-oriented company, Italian design-oriented company, with more than 8 million products sold. You can see the story is always the same. Very basic object with the shape of the little man cut off from steel. After the story of Girotondo, which gives a completely new direction also to the company Alessi, it changed a lot about the core business of the company. There was a strong discussion about the introduction of plastic. Marketing people were afraid that plastic could create a problem of identity for a company whose core business was steel, so an elegant material, while plastic it's considered like a cheap material. So after a long discussion, in 1993 was presented the first family of plastic products, where I designed most of them, like the salt and pepper Lilliput, which are two small animals with magnetic feet, which they could stare on the dish or on the bar. The fruit bowl, fruit mama, combining steel and plastic. The Mary biscuit, it's a biscuit box with a top, and I put in this case in the Eva material some flavor of vanilla. Or the Merdolino. Merdolino, it's a funny name. It means something like little shit, so there was a lot of communication on newspaper, television about that. It created a sort of scandal. And the Magic Bunny. The Magic Bunny is a toothpick holder where there is a rabbit who come out from the head of a magician. And with the rabbit come out also the toothpick. We were in this year the first Italian studio to adopt the new technology in computer modeling and in modeling prototyping from a 3D file. We were in 1995, the first Italian design studio except the car design. So we had the occasion to improve a lot our way of working. Also in the technology, because this object looks very funny and simple, but they have also some innovative issue regarding to the molding technology. For example, the Merdolino was the first product in the design context which was molded with plastic, where plastic is pushing on the mold together with air, and air creates an empty top. So it means the molding process is faster, the product is lighter, and it stayed on the mold a very short time. Or the Magic Bunny came out from a connection with DuPont, plastic material, and they asked me to introduce a new material on the market. It was a material that allows you to mold the plastic product with a big thickness. In this case, the head of the rabbit is 4 centimeters, while you know plastic is a material that you have to mold usually with a small thickness, about 2-3 millimeters. This is the Chico. Also Chico is molded with sarlin, this kind of material. And this is an egg cap where you place the egg into the head of this carrier. The cap is a salt dispenser with a hole on the top, and you can use the spoon, taking it away from his hand, to eat the egg. This is a funnel with Pinocchio shape, or Benny Brush is a shoe cleaner that moves the tie and the brush when it turns. Cancan is a dance from the Moulin Rouge, you know, so it's such kind of girls dancing in Paris, in such kind of place. They move the legs up, and Cancan is called such kind of dance. So this is a can opener where you have to move the legs and to close to open the can. So also the name in some projects are very interesting to communicate the product. Piripicchio is a clove shavers. You touch the eyes of this character, and on the white part there is a window which show you the level of the clove shaving. Or a kitchen scale, a ship shape is a butter dish, where the smoke that you can see on the top is a knife that you use to spread the butter or marmalade on your toast. This was another interesting research about material. In this case, I developed this product, but I was not sure to succeed in the molding process. So in this case, the material is SAN, another plastic material, and when you mold with big thickness, it creates bubble inside. So each product is different from another. And in this case, bubbles were also very interesting to give identity to this product. In the end of the 80s, also Apple computer came out with colorful material. And they studied also the Alessi product. In Apple, they had also all the Alessi product cutted, and they studied in both directions, the Italian business model in the beginning and also the product we developed. And anyway, this is to show you the context was the same. In the 90s, colorful plastic create a direct feeling for such kind of period, very successful and very growing for our economy. In the beginning of the year 2000, we have the first economic crisis. We have the war in Iraq, and Italian company moved production to China. So we have a very critical moment for our context. In this case, on one side, Apple computer, you can see the first computer of this period. They avoid color, and they became transparent, neutral color, or natural material. And also in my work, I changed the approach. So I never work anymore with color and plastic. And I came back to traditional material for having product with more classic, with a longer life. One important project in this period was the Mami pot. A pot collection is the most important product for a company like Alessi, for a company producing kitchenware, because it requires the highest investment. We developed the mold in Italy, and the cost of the first set of mold, I mean about 6-7 products, was €1 million. So you understand it's a very delicate argument. And for this project, we had a very interesting approach. So instead of asking to the designer to develop the design of the project, we seated around a table, me and the strategy of the company, it means Alberto Alessi, and the marketing director, and the technical director. And we discussed deeply which character has to have this family of product. And this discussion was very important. I discussed, for example, with Alberto Alessi about Heidegger theory. Heidegger spoke, the German philosopher spoke about the thickness of the thing. In sense of pottery was the pottericity of the pot. It means which kind of character has to give to the product to obtain the best feeling, the best communication of the identity of the product itself, of the typology. So in this case, instead of designing a new shape of pot, I tried to rediscover the archetype of a pot. I studied the first pot, the ceramic pot, and I worked on V-shape. V-shape, I think, is not a design pot. It wanna be the pot, not one of the possible pot. So I tried to rediscover the archetype. And I think the success of this family of product, which is today the product with the highest turnover in Alessi catalog, is because this family of product is directly connected with the memory and the imagination of the people related to this category. Also, the reference of the ceramic pot gave me the option to work on to make a research on the handle. The handle for a pot has to be empty. So I started from a simple metal tube, and we worked 1 year just for the handle to find a way to mold a tube in that way, so without any ribs, without any defect, like a die-cast infusion. But such kind of detail are very important. So working deeply in detail, in this case the handle was an important part of the success of this kind of family. Another family of products also that was very successful is the cutlery family I designed for them. You can see this kind of product has a strong memory, has a strong feeling with the memory of the people. So they don't want to be so innovative in terms of design, but they want to represent really the typology, the classicity of the typology. And they became the new classic. This is the Mami kettle. When you design a product like that, a classic product, it remains up on the market for many, many years. So the Mami pot, after more than 10 years, it's today 15 years, is always the best-selling product for the company. So in this case, it's another very successful product. It's the most successful family of ceramic in the high-end market. And it's a collaboration between Alessi and ceramic and faucet producer. When I start considering the ceramic of this product, I had immediately in my mind the idea of a white stone. And I designed the toilet as a white stone. I didn't take care of designing, because usually all the products like that are made by 3 pieces. One piece is the body, one piece is the connection on the wall, another piece is the connection on the ground. But I take the idea of a stone, I put the stone against the wall. So something very immediate, very simple, but which create an immediate feeling in communication, very strong sign of communication. And this product was very innovative, because before nobody else create such kind of shape for the toilet. And also you can see a very clean elliptical shape on the top, so also the shape of all the other products are really different from the other. So instead of connecting the top with the wall, I created distance. And this was very important for the identity and the purity of the family. For example, this was the first one, ceramic freestanding wash basin, that was on the market. And today there are a lot of products molded in one piece, but this was the first one. And marketing people in this case thought that this product was not for good quantity. They do it because for the identity of the family, but they were not convinced. And instead, this product became very, very successful. And today, still today, after 15 years, is the best successful product in this family. And it creates, of course, a strong identity for the ceramic. You can see here a whole family of products. This is another very successful product, probably the most, as you said, the most copied product. In Asian market, especially in China, there are 1,000 companies producing this product for very cheap price. This product costs 365 euros in Europe, while in China costs 35, maybe or less. Sometimes they succeeded with legal action to destroy mountains of product, but not here in China, so it's the copy after 10 years. But the first 10 years was anyway on the same range. Now, of course, after so many copies, the product decreased, but anyway, it's always successful. I designed it, it's written 1998, but was probably 1996. And this product you can find in many science fiction movies like Star Trek or Lost in Space, like one of the few real objects in a complete virtual reality context. This is the Bombo chair of the same family and the Bombo table. This is the Magist first chair. This is a real 3D chair because in this case is a really advanced step in molding process technology. Usually this kind of chair are molded considering to put the air on the border of the chair, so to create a solid structure empty. In this case, we try to put the air also on the seat and on the back. So it creates a very organic shape. To achieve such kind of result, I worked almost 2 years with the supplier. And I give them the 3D drawing. They put the 3D drawing on the computer, make simulation. And after he said me, okay, increase 2 millimeter here, 5 millimeter here. And it was a long process. But at the end, we really achieved a result that I am very satisfied. You can see a mold, half of the mold of the chair. And I would like to say that a designer has often a huge responsibility because a mold like that costs 400,000 euros. So if the product is successful on the market, the company will be glad. But if the product doesn't sell, you can understand. So you have to take care of, if we speak about industrial design, you have to take care of the market, and you have to understand the appeal of the product on the market. This is the vanity chair. In this case, I started from a very iconic chair with the Tonnet chair, the most classical chair, a wooden chair. And I restyled this chair with new materials, so polycarbonate, transparent, and gas injection technology for the leg. And I did colorful cushions. This is an armchair. When you sit, you can see the blue configuration. It's an armchair, but you can open the arm and you can lay on the arm, so it becomes a chaise longue. After this period, we have another successful period for our economy with globalization. So internet and the global market, great advantages for our company. And such kind of interaction between Asian market and our market opened the language. We had the end of the minimalism and the modern movement. And the design language was really open at 360 degrees. And the designer became like a chef, which could select a different language of expression for any kind of project. So ethnic language or eclectism, transversality, contamination of languages, and also decoration became a very interesting approach for the design. Also, it happened that I came to Asia for a business trip. During one of them, I had occasion to go to Taiwan and to meet the director of the National Palace Museum, she was a woman, and I visited the museum with her, and at a certain point I was really astonished by the beauty of the jets, the ceramic, the bronze of the museum, which contains the most important masterpiece of Chinese history, as you know. And the director asked me, when she saw me so astonished, and I said to her, okay, it's a real pity that in Europe we don't know such museums so well and this object so beautiful. And she asked me, oh, Mr. Giovannoni, do you have some ideas to promote the museum in Europe? And I immediately had the idea to, and proposed her to develop the mascot of the museum and the family of products with Alessi, starting from the mascot and going on with different kitchenware typology. So the Mr. Chin is the mascot became the mascot of the museum, and I worked on the image and on the dress of the Emperor Cheslung. Here you can find the dress of the emperor, which inspired me for the shape of the mascot. In this case, it's a egg cup. In that case, this is Mr. Chin. That is Queen Chin, which is the queen of the family or the king of the family. This is a timer. And all these products are decorated by hand in China. So the occasion to work with Chinese manufacturers give us the possibility to work in a completely different way, because in Italy you couldn't decorate the product by hand. And also a second family of product where I worked with Chinese icon and Chinese material like porcelain, and also in this case it's hand painted. You can see that surface is a very soft, painted by hand. It's not like plastic products so strong, but I was really interested in this approach of the object of the museum, where the surface is never a flat color, but you feel a deep surface. You feel the gradation of the color. This is a sugar bowl or a salt and pepper set, a sushi set. And also the design meets technology. So I had more and more occasion to work in technological products with Asian company. Also with Alessi, we had finally the chance that we discussed for a long time to develop domestic appliances. Here in China was possible to develop at an affordable price. This anyway today very expensive, but was possible to develop steel product. And the issue in this product was to combine steel and plastic. So I have to understand which was the best area to place steel, because steel and plastic are two products, two materials with completely different molding technology. This is a kitchen scale, also in steel. This is a duster. This is a toaster or a blender. This is a collaboration between Alessi and the leading company in cordless phone in Europe, Siemens. And I developed this product considering to reverse the usual typology. Usually this kind of typology was a basement with the handset which fits vertically on the basement. I started from the opposite concept, considering the object, so the handset and the basement, as a unique product, integrated product. And the handset is not something that you add to the basement, but it's something that you deduct and take away from it. This project was also interesting because it's double injected. We have 2 millimeter ABS plastic black on the bottom or white, and 1.5 millimeter or 2.5 millimeter ABS transparent on the top. So the quality of the product is very, very interesting and very high. This is another product I designed for Oregon Scientific, a Hong Kong company, local company. And they asked me to design a projection clock. I had the idea to develop the first wireless projection clock. So usually they have the projector connected with the basement. In this case, I proposed them the idea to have a projector that you could take away. So you can use the unit, the basement as a charger, and you can place the sphere with the projector where you want. This is a collaboration with the major network in telecommunication in Japan, with NTT Docomo. It was a collaboration with NEC and NTT Docomo. And I created this mobile phone for them in 2006. This was a collaboration between Alessi and the leading company in telecommunication in Italy, the Italian Telecom. And they asked me to design a cordless phone. I created such kind of product considering to use the same shape for the basement and for the handset. So I create a sort of organic shape which could remind you the shape of something dynamic like a shuttle or like a car, but also the head of an animal with the eyes in the middle. I think it's important, such kind of, when you design an object, has some connection with the memory of the people. An object has to remind you something. Also, the display in this case was not cut off from the plastic, but it's integrated in the plastic. It's not black, but it's transparent gray, and it's an OLED display which come out from the plastic. This is our 3D drawing. So we used to work, today it's very simple to work with Skype, to communicate with Skype with such kind of company. We worked with LG Engineer in Korea. They give us the technical PCB board, and we create the shape of this phone. Take care that it's very difficult in this case. You have really to take care of decimum of a millimeter if you mold such kind of surface, if you create such kind of surface around a PCB board. These are some technical. We work also with car design software to achieve the best quality in surface. This is another project which is a collaboration between Alessi and another company in electronics. And they asked me to design a table not for traveling, but for the kitchen. This is the reason why I was focused on the usability of the product. And I create such kind of L-shaped because it's more easy to use without taking in your hand, because otherwise you have to take it in one hand and operate with the other. And in this case, I had also the chance to put on the back big speaker, so it has the possibility to sound very well through speakers that are much bigger than the usual. There is an antenna also for watching TV and so on. This is a collaboration between the two biggest companies in the world, Samsung for electronics and Google for internet. And I create this product it's a smart box that you can connect to any television to go to internet. This is transparent black, so I create also such kind of blue effect coming out in the front from the logo. This is a collaboration with Toto, the most important company in the world in washlet business, and they asked me to develop a product for the European market, and I created such kind of organic shape collaborating with their engineer. During this process, which was 1 year long, we never met. And through Skype, we had a continuous communication with technicians. This is a project for the most important company in kitchen hood. It's the Italian company Elica, leader in the world for such kind of product. And for them, I developed the first plastic kitchen wood. So we found new materials which was able to resist to the fire and so on. This is an oven. The characteristic, the idea of this oven was to have a complete glass front. So not only the front, that is usual, but also the handle is in glass. This is a kitchen I designed for Veneta Cucine, one of the leading companies in Italy, and the concept was design a kitchen as a furniture. So a minimum kitchen that you can see in a shop and you can understand immediately what happened in your house. Because usually when you see a kitchen in the shop, you see furniture and after you don't understand what happened when you place them in your kitchen. This was another configuration of the same system, and it's called the flipper, because if you have 1 meter on the wall, you can install this kind of kitchen. This was a collaboration with Fiat, Italian company, and they asked to Alessi to create a car specially addressed to young generation. And I create such kind of design with such white plastic bottom and the white wheels that remind to the image of the car of the 50s, or an antennas with light that sign your passage in the city. This is a collaboration with Pulsar for a chronograph. The interesting idea in this project was to combine rubber polyurethane with steel. So we had a double injection with ABS plastic and polyurethane to create a case where you can place the aluminum part. This is Mr. I. It's a collaboration between Alessi and KDDI, the other telecommunication company in Japan. I create such kind of double shell mobile where on the top, it's the old typology with a double shell. There is a display on the top which looks like an ice, and the ice change configuration according with the communication of the function. They ask also some accessory. Accessory was 50% of the project. So I create different set of accessories. Like in this case, it's a tatami bed, which is the dock station, and the charger is a basement with a lamp that illuminates when you connect on electricity. In this case, the plug is a fox, and the dock station is a trunk, a bird for the strap. In this case, the plug is a tuna, the line is the cable, and the boat is the dock station. Or here, the dog is the plug, the feet the dock station, and the earphone with the shape of the heart. These are the configuration of the set, and when you can place them on the shop window, you have a lot of animation through this eye that you can see on the face. This is a water machine I designed for the leading company in such kind of business, the SodaStream for Israel. And it's a very useful machine because you can place this product in your house and you have depurated water, carbonated water with the level of carbonation you wish, and cold water and warm water till 90 degrees. So you could completely avoid plastic bottle from your house. So you save space in your refrigerator, and you can obtain each kind of water you wish. This is the last image. Is a project presented this year by a Chinese company. ZTE is the fourth producer in the world for smartphone, and they asked me to design this product. And I create a product based on the thinnest thickness. So when I succeeded to achieve the thinnest thickness when we presented to CES Las Vegas, was the thinnest smartphone in the world. After today, there are some other little bit thinner. But the characteristic of this process was really very interesting, because they asked me to start with this project last year in September, beginning of September. And consider that 26th of December I came to Beijing Millennium to present this product to the press. So less than 4 months. And this kind of speedy process allows them to introduce in the product the most performative camera and the most performative display that the display with the best quality, which they took from Sharp, the Japanese company. So this product was very successful. The first month they sold 1 million pieces, and up to date they sold 16 million pieces of this mobile. So the situation here in China for this kind of product is very, very interesting, and the quantity are really huge quantity. Okay, I have finished, so probably my time is off, and I don't know if there are some time for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giovannoni. So we've actually overrun, but I'm sure at least we have time for just maybe one question. So please take the opportunity for one question before the tea break. Otherwise, I have a very good question. Yes.
Thanks very much for your talk. It was great stuff. You talked earlier about the model of design, distribution, and then the customer, and that model had changed. How is it changing, and how do you see that reality here in Asia?
Yes. No, in the past there was 3 passages. So there was the producer, there was a distributor, and there was the final shop who sold the design product. So 3 passages. Now 3 passages are too much, because in the new context of the market, we have to move directly from the producer to the end user, to the seller. So we have 2 kind of successful new direction for distribution. One is mass market, and the second one is internet. So based the distribution on these 2 channels will allow the company to reduce the production price, and in this period and also in the future, this will be a must. So, according with this condition, I think in this moment it's very interesting, the collaboration between Asian and European brand. So we can achieve really a very interesting price. And also in Europe, in this moment, consider that in the past, mass production and design was 2 contests completely separate. But today, design company could survive in spite of the mass market. So mass market is very connected with design. And so mass market gives to company huge business opportunity, because quantity are much bigger than the usual distribution. And it's important to consider this opportunity to interface also the Asian market with the European market. This will be a must in the future. Today, no company achieves at the best both markets. But the future will be in this direction, I think.
Thank you very much, Mr. Giovannoni.